The next speakers on the stage will be an incredibly courageous family with their story. Have you ever wondered what's it like to drastically change your life? Pack up your bags, take your family, and move to another continent knowing you have to start from scratch, building your networks, settling down, learning the local ways. Well, I guess today we can ask firsthand from the family who has done it. Twice. Hassan is a software engineer, and his wife, Humeira, is an assistant professor at the Tampere University of Technology. She is a researcher specialized on nano-optics and metamaterials. And their son, Engin, is a fourth grader at the Finnish International School of Tampere. And this is their story. Welcome on the stage, Family Case. How are you guys? Great. Let me set the second mic for you. There we go. Perfect. So we're very happy to have you here today with us. And I'm going to do a very, very cliche thing right now and ask you, why Finland?
I think everyone is already asking this. I think, so when I was looking for some opportunities, Finland was one of them. And when it comes to decide which one, I think we checked a few things. But, so my husband first asked, are you sure? And I was like, oh, that's Finland, so I'm sure. I think many things includes it. It's, first of all, I think nature. It's nature, it's education system. And later on now I will say it's people. Those are the most important, I think, things for me.
And we had a few alternatives. We wanted to leave our country. We wanted to go abroad again. For a small introduction first, since he was born every 3 years, which he moved to back and forth to different countries. We were in States when he was from 3 to 6. So Engin, this is your last 2 years in Finland, I guess, based on this calculation. So we were looking for alternatives. One was Singapore, one was going back to the States. And but when she told me about Finland, I was like, you saw in the previous presentations, Finland, like where is it even? I mean, I know it's Norway, Sweden, Finland. In our minds, it's like for you, Syria, Turkey, Iraq, like Iran all together, probably. But which one it was? Was it the highest population one or the lowest population one? Was it the? But one thing I think in your branding, education system always comes on top. From there, I say, okay, if education is that good, we should look into it. And then I started to research, and I wrote an email to Business Tampere, and they replied. They always reply, but the thing was different from this reply. About this reply was that they read my email in full before writing a reply, and it amazed me. That I saw like people read emails here in this country, and believe me, it's very, very different. When I've been working with American companies for a long time, remotely, even when we weren't there. And in my experience, even in million dollar projects, when you write something very important, they read the first 5 sentences. And the last 5 sentences, whatever in between, the most important parts, nobody cares. So here, it's a culture of focus in a distracted world. That is what I love most about Finland.
You have mentioned 3 things, nature, education, and the Finnish culture, business culture, let's put it this way. How about if you look at the perspective, what could be improved or changed for you as the international family living in Tampere? You are truly a family of nomads. You've been in so many different countries, continents, working, living. So if you were to build a perfect city for an international talent, what elements or activities or networks or events or anything would you add to make it more suitable for you?
I think for me, people here were really welcome to us, so we were really lucky and happy with that. One of the things I think people doesn't recognize is that we don't maybe even sometimes know the basics, although that's very basic knowledge for you because you have been there from day one, you know it, but we don't know them. One of the examples that I always give to other people is that we were trying to learn skate. I've never done ice skating before. And then I was on this ice skating place, and then this little girl, 2 to 3 years old, was like looking at me, oh, you're an adult and you don't know? It's like she had those big eyes, and it's like, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm an adult and I no problem, I just don't know it. So I think if people can be a little bit more open, that will be, and if you will be talkative, that really helps because we have to ask everything, every small thing. You have to ask everything and then again everything. So that's really a bit hard. It's like digging a stone, and then you find a gem. But it's hard to do that.
To me, one thing to improve would be signs, or helping, if you want to help really foreigners, new immigrants, just giving them a page of signs, like at least miehet, naiset, what they are, so you don't go into the wrong room. Because in any country I've been to before, these signs are in symbols, in icons. Here, in most places you see, it says only naiset and miehet, and you don't even know what is there unless you learn. Until you learn those.
Learn it hard way,
yeah.
I guess.
I mean, not for you. I mean, so these very small things with signs, and when you go to next to the lake, so it is so frustrating. I am always walking around. What is this? What is that? Thanks to Google Translate, we don't carry dictionaries anymore. But it is really difficult to understand if I can feed the ducks. There's a sign, there's a hand, duck, and feeding at the beach. And it means I should feed the ducks, or is it not allowed to feed the ducks? So these simple things. But in general, it's very nice to, in general, in our experience, it's been great.
When you just arrived to Finland as an entire family, of course, Humer already had a job at university. How about you? Did you get any support or any welcoming package or any kind of consultation that you can start moving forward with your professional life as well, as a spouse?
Okay, so for that regards, I think if I were looking for a job, I would have better support, because I tried to. I wanted to have a Finnish course or to start to learn language or find somewhere to go. In last summer, after we came after 2 months of exploring the forests, I wrote an email to companies by looking up them on Google Maps in city, what software companies there are, and then I wrote an email to the ones that I could find their websites and email addresses. Hey, I am new in Finland. I'm a good engineer, and are you willing to have a hosting, like visiting engineer? I made up this term, visiting engineer. I just want a desk to chat with people, to talk and learn the culture. I don't want money, I don't want a salary. And I can also help you with your stuff. Like, I have this kind of expertise. Some returned very kindly, some invited me for lunch. But I didn't get any desks from there. I then met with you and the New Factory and other companies. Now I have met lots of people. But in the beginning, for someone even trying very unconventional ways, it wasn't very smooth to enter. But I think it should be expected when you move to a new country. You are starting from scratch. Nobody knows you. You are a nobody. Even below nobody, because nobody will speak Finnish. You don't speak Finnish. I can't work at Hesburger like anybody. So that in that regards, I looked for communities. Like there were for spouses, there were something in Hervanta, and then I realized it was only for women who are designated to be housewives coming with their husbands and they don't know much, and so they are supporting. There are support groups for those. But I wanted to start a company, and I realized that, okay, I should first have more experience, and now I'm working in it with a company.
Sounds great. I think it's a really good idea what you raise now, the community of spouses actually having the kind of support to start
Yes.
from when you just arrived to Finland.
Yes.
Great. I would like to ask a question from Engin. Your father, I was chatting with your daddy a few days ago, and he told me a story how you reacted to the fact that the whole family is moving to Finland. You didn't know anything at first, and then you Googled. Of course, kids Google these days. You Googled, well, what's your new home is going to be like, and you saw a lot of nature and got very much excited about this. Is that true? Do you like nature?
Yeah, I like the nature, and I like the animals, because they're cute,
That's true.
and you can feed them.
Do you like the winter?
Yeah, there's a lot of snow. It's like fun
Okay.
to play.
Do you like it here, living in Finland in general?
Yeah, it's very fun because like you can just take a short walk and go to the lake and just feed the ducks.
I guess the whole family likes feeding the dogs, as we understood by the stories.
Squirrels climb on us and eat from our hands. That's the most craziest experience we have ever had in our lives. You don't pay for it. They come and pick. And then they got used to us when we walk around the lake. Sometimes they climb on me and I have no nuts with me. It looks from here. Where are the nuts? I can see in its eyes.
So, truly a nature-loving family, for sure. Guys, before we wrap up, I have the last very important question to you, and I think probably some people in the audience are also wondering that. At the very beginning, you said that in the past you used to change a place of living every 3 years. What about now?
We are looking for a house to buy.
In Finland? Or?
Yes, we want
Okay.
to settle
They're
there.
staying, yes! Great. What could you wish, as the final words of this conversation, what can you wish to other internationals and other families that come to Finland?
I think instead of just looking for everyone, like who would like to come here as an international talent, I think it would be better to some targeted people who would have passion for the Finland, because we know now, and you know better than us, that there are really good things here that people not aware of. I mean, if you can show them what is the beauty here, I think they might be more willing to come here easily.
So when we watched the presentation for Welcome to Finland presentation, I've seen all of those matches. Like, you may have a bus test, like put someone coming who wants to come, get on the bus and see where he sits, next to someone or far away from everyone else. I think there are enough people, like, and talented people that would love to be here, not to bear with winter despite this, despite that, because I got a good job. I think that shouldn't be the point. That the people you want to have here, talented people, who would come and wouldn't want to leave because they would feel like it is a home. I want to make this my home.
That's the right attitude. Let's give a big round of applause to the family. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time from school, I guess, as well, and coming here today to share your story.